Okay, I put together 5 things you must know about living in Edgeworth. The 5th one is going to be the crown jewel, so make sure you make it to number 5. Are you ready? Let's make it happen. Hello everyone, my name is Brian Tessier and I am with the Brian Sells Pittsburgh Real Estate Group here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And what I'm going to do is talk about the 5 things you need to know about moving to Edgeworth. Constantly have people relocating in this area asking me this information, so I wanted to put it on video. Before we do that, make sure you smash the subscribe button, smash the subscribe button, smash the subscribe button, click the bell, that's easier to say, and get all notifications. And you could send me a comment below if you're watching this on YouTube. You can call my direct number or text me at this number. You can click my email address, send me an email, smoke signals, carrier pigeons, however you want to do it. Let's get in contact. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is, and you've heard it before, location, and location. Edgeworth is located about 14 miles, I would say, outside of downtown Pittsburgh. There are 2 routes you can choose from the Edgeworth area if you're going to downtown Pittsburgh for anything. Maybe you're going there for work and play. I usually, when I go out there for listing appointments, or I go out there, or I come back home, I live on Mount Washington, which is downtown Pittsburgh. When I come back home from showing houses on Edgeworth, what I always do is we now have this awesome app called Waze, W-A-Z-E. And I always check to see which way might be the least congested, because it does change depending on what time of day you are coming through there. So the first way would be Route 79. Now this is a highway, a main thoroughfare. So what that means is there's just exit ramps and entrance ramps. There's no stoplights, there's no turning lanes, etc. So this will be your longest as far as mileage to and from the city to Edgeworth, but it'll definitely be the quickest, provided there's no, accidents or whatever. There's no stoplight, so you can zip right down 79. You'll get off on the Parkway exit that brings you into Pittsburgh, and you can be there, and it depends on traffic, 20 to 30 minutes. More likely than not, I use 65. So if you're coming from Edgeworth, you'll have to take 65 to get on 79. 79 takes you to the Parkway. Parkway takes you directly into downtown Pittsburgh. But you can just stay right on 65. This is by far the fastest mileage wise, and if you hit all the lights just right, and police don't pull you over, they've been known to, I think they speed limit is some ridiculously low number, you will be clipping off at least 10 to 15 miles an hour faster than the speed limit. Knock on wood, I haven't been pulled over or seen any police there. Oh God, I probably just jinxed myself. But I know some of the speed trap areas, so I try to just go 5 or 10 mile an hour over the speed limit. There's big stretches where there are no stoplights. If you do hit some stoplights, it kind of breaks the flow. There's one which takes you in a bridge, takes you over McKees Rocks. It seems to be the longest one because it's a heavy traffic flow. But again, I always check the Waze app to see which way might be the least congested at that very point in time in which I'm heading to or fro Edgeworth. So the other major destination point other than the city of Pittsburgh, downtown Pittsburgh, might be the airport, Pittsburgh International Airport. It's only 11 miles from Edgeworth, and that shouldn't take you any more than, again, 20 to 30 minutes, depends. There shouldn't be any traffic jams going to Pittsburgh. The traffic jams tend to just happen when you're coming into the city. So it's about a 20-25 minute ride, depends how fast you drive, out to the Pittsburgh International Airport. Population, I've done some research in Edgeworth on the population. I'm seeing anywhere between 1,600 and 1,800 people. It's I'm going to get into it in my next bullet point. It's a pretty rural area, pretty spread out. So that would be why it's not a metropolis, not a ton of people. So nice place to live if you're looking for some privacy, some rurality. Yes, I just made up that word, rurality, but you're not too rural. So the median home prices in Edgeworth is around $600,000, but the average listing price is around $1.2 million. Hold on, checking my pockets. There's 200,000 there, million there. I've got 1.2 million. I can buy a house in Edgeworth. This is my lucky sweater, always loaded with money. In these numbers, this market has seen a 5.1% increase over the last 12 months. So this is 2021. These numbers are going to be 2020. We had an amazing year coming out of COVID. We were down for 3 months, the busiest 3 months of the year because of COVID, but the housing market went bananas. So people are moving out to Edgeworth because of its rurality. That's a 5.1% increase over the last 12 months, according to Best Places to Live. So I typically think the ease of getting to the airport and downtown Pittsburgh, combined with the high home values that we just talked about, is the reason why, and it's unofficial, a lot of the occupants are going to be doctors, lawyers, and business owners, which, I guess you could probably say that's a demographic for a lot of luxury, if not all luxury. Oh, I guess you could probably throw some celebrities and athletes in there, but I don't think there are any celebrities and athletes in Edgeworth. It'd be more along the white collar, doctors, lawyers, business owners, because you can get a really big house with some land. And also, I listed and sold off flip over there, and the one thing that stuck in my mind was the streets were really wide. I'm not going to say every street is really wide, but some of the streets around are really wide. There were a lot of families playing. It was summertime, playing in the front yard with, no worries of anything. And it was really nice to see a lot of people out walking their dogs. People of all ages, 30s, 40-year-olds, and some senior age folk too. So I thought that was a very cliche American style neighborhood. So the second thing you must know about Edgeworth is it is more of an urban feel, as I alluded to in the first point. According to niche.com, Edgeworth's area feel, is what they call it, is rural. Edgeworth is just outside the village of Sewickley, Pennsylvania, and as I said before, it offers more greenscape, parking, those quieter, wider roads that I mentioned, than the heart of the village would have. Whenever we talk about Sewickley and Edgeworth, which is in the same school district, we reference the village a lot. The village is, well, it's just that. It's an old village that's been, renovated over time. It has, I've done videos on Sewickley before. Make sure you check out my other videos on the Living in Pittsburgh YouTube channel for my Sewickley video, where we did a pretty extensive video on the shops and coffee shops and restaurants, etc., that the village has. So the village is kind of the destination. That's what I'm thinking of. The destination of people in Sewickley, residents of Sewickley, residents of Edgeworth. So it is walkable. It's not ideal, but something to note in Edgeworth is it's just all housing. Again, it's not a very big area, so there's no real commons. There's definitely no village. There's no restaurants or anything like that. It's pretty much all housing, and there's not very many places like that around Pittsburgh, so that's kind of attractive to people. Okay, the third thing you need to know about Sewickley, but before we get into that, make sure did you hit the subscribe button yet? All right, once you do that, you gotta make sure you hit the bell. All notifications would be great. Okay, so the third thing we're going to talk about real quick is the schools. Edgeworth Elementary is located in Edgeworth, and it's part of the Quaker Valley school system. According to niche.com, the Edgeworth Elementary School gets an overall rating of A. Academics is a rating of an A. Teachers, A+, diversity, B-. So Edgeworth Elementary School, it's a highly rated public school. Edgeworth is kind of located in Sewickley. It's got about 417 students, kindergarten, 5th grade. The student-teacher ratio, for those of you concerned, is 13-1. Now, according to state test scores, 71% of the students are at least proficient in math, 85% in reading. Let's talk about the actual ranking. So, best public elementary school teachers in Pennsylvania, 2021, niche.com. It's Edgeworth Elementary School ranking is number 34. That's out of 1,617 schools. Okay, so the fourth out of 5 things you need to know about Edgeworth is some awards. Let's talk about some awards the area has gotten. Edgeworth Borough recently received the Gold certification from Sustainable Pennsylvania Certification Program. So throughout the summer of last year being 2020, they assessed the areas of improvement and implemented some recycling policies, tracked energy use, and more. They continue to enhance the area of sustainability and best practices. Edgeworth is a contributor to some of the greater Pittsburgh's accolades. Now, these next couple accolades are not specific to Edgeworth, is specific to the greater Pittsburgh area, but you can rest assured Edgeworth had a very strong hand in earning them. Number 1, most romantic city for boomers. Number 1, best cities to relocate to in America. Number 1, most secure places to live, 2011. Third best U.S. city for seniors, 2011. And those are all according to bestplaces.net. So over the years, Pittsburgh has won a lot of awards or ranked high. So it's a very great city to live. All right, so the fifth thing, probably the coolest thing, the crown jewel, the trophy of Edgeworth is the Edgeworth Club. It was founded in 1893. So do I even have to tell you that the architecture inside is stunning? Like most clubs, it is a private, social, and recreational club. So anytime you hear private, that means membership. Shishing, 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 shishing. So there are a lot of activities the club itself offers, such as tennis, swimming. You can actually get swimming lessons for the kiddos there if need be. There is paddle tennis. If you don't know what that is, it's this. There is squash, not the kind you eat. This. There's duck pin bowling, which is, I've learned, I've never actually done it, but I've learned that is, I don't know if I want to say indigenous to Pittsburgh, but it is a favorite pastime of, we'll call it club goers, and I don't mean nightclub, Edgeworth type club goers. So duck pin bowling is this. They have aerobics and also some fitness instructors with all of the latest fitness trends. Okay, so I want to talk about the fitness center just a quick second. They offer personal training packages, there's group classes, and the state-of-the-art fitness club has 3 rooms all on the ground level, and each have a specific purpose. So, maybe you don't go to the club to work out, maybe you go there to relax, but that is an option for you. So when it comes to tennis, the club hosts junior tennis programs, and that's male, female, and mixed teams, along with various tennis social events throughout the season on their Har-Tru tennis courts. Now, you may not know what Har-Tru courts are, and if you don't, that's because you don't take tennis seriously, and that's not an insult, that's not a slap in the face, but for those of you that do take tennis seriously, Edgeworth Club has amazing courts. So the junior tennis team, it competes locally against other private clubs in the vicinity. It's never too late to learn how to play tennis, and I've actually wanted to learn how to play tennis, so maybe this is the year I go up there. You know what? If you're looking to relocate and buy a house in the Edgeworth community and it's $1.2 million and you use me, we will take tennis lessons together. Now, I like to maintain a high level of professionalism as a realtor, but I've tried tennis before, and as a kid, when I get frustrated, those round rackets end up oblong, so I don't want you to think any less of me. And to finish off about the tennis, of course they do offer lessons, so that is something that I would definitely be interested in. Again, $1.2 million purchase with me will get us there. So when it comes to paddle tennis, they have the courts for that, and they provide competitive social events for paddle tennis. The court is actually pretty cool. It's elevated, and it is propane floor heaters. Those of you that don't play paddle tennis, do you wonder why? Something I just learned because I don't, and that is they play paddle tennis in the winter, in the colder months, the colder climates. I don't know why, but the floor is elevated, which is pretty cool, and there's propane, it's propane heated floor, so that'll be pretty neat. That itself should be worth checking out, the Edgeworth Club. So when it comes to squash, another one of the activities, the Edgeworth Club has two U.S. regulation size courts. It's actually been the training site for many junior squash competitors that have gone on the national level for years now. So you can see him in a sweater. You probably assume that it is cold here in Pittsburgh, and that is true. It is January 4th. It's not terrible. It's only 35 degrees. But what I'm getting to is the Edgeworth Club has an Olympic-sized swimming pool. So if you want to get your laps in, it is outdoor. So if you want to get your laps in the summer, you can. Or if you just want to do a casual dip, you can do that as well. Now, the Olympic pool obviously will have those lap lanes where they have those things that float so you can stay in your lane. They also have a second pool, and that is a baby pool with beach access. Now, you don't have to be an adult and cry like a little baby to get in that pool. You should just be a little baby, physically. Now, they do host a competitive swimming team, and these are all things to members only. They offer swimming lessons, either individual or group, so that's pretty cool stuff. Okay, they do have bowling and that duck pin bowling I told you about, and this is a great option for whenever it's too hot outside or it's too cold outside. Bring the family in and grab a couple games of bowling, have some fun. Now, they do have men's and ladies leagues if you're interested in some competitive bowling, for members, of course. They do have open bowling throughout the winter months and junior bowling during select times of the year. But don't worry, when it comes to bowling and duck pin bowling, there's definitely something for everyone. So when it comes to facilities, there is going to be the best of anything around. So there's casual dining, fine dining, meeting areas, conference room amenities, sports and recreation, as well as they have catering and event planning. So the living room is a good place to just relax. Back in the day, they'd probably say read the newspaper or read a book. But nowadays we say good time to Instagram, Pinterest, and maybe still read a book. I know some people try to still read books, although they're ebooks. But the living room is a great place for that. So maybe the kiddos are out doing whatever they're doing and you just want to read a book, chill out and relax. So next I'm going to talk about the loggia, Loggia. So these are modeled after stately Viennese mansions. It's a great area for small parties. Looking at the photos, you can see there are these awesome wrought iron floor-to-ceiling windows with curved tops. They just don't make stuff like that anymore. Of course, you can get their finest food and drink. Now, of course, they have a ballroom for special occasions, wedding reception, birthday parties, bar or bar mitzvahs, even a diplomatic soiree for the opulent ballroom. Taking a look at it, it has a cool stage, very unique painting, very luxurious, and I keep using the word opulent because that's the word they use, and boy, does that not hit the nail right on the head. Next up is what we call a grill room. So it's more of a casual atmosphere, you know what I mean? End of the day, you've done a lot of duck pin bowling and you're tired, you just want to relax, you don't feel like getting all gussed up. This might be the place you find yourself. But of course, if you want to get gussed up, they have opportunity for that as well. That'd probably be the loggia or the ballroom. Of course, they have a bar, and let's just call it what it is. That's a great place to get drunk, get sloshed. You want to talk about those duck pin bowling stories, how you could have had them if you would have got down to duck pin. A great place for it. Typically we have fishing or hunting tales in there, but we could keep drawing back to the duck pin bowling. The terrace is really cool. You can see there are 3 openings with French doors and a trellis above, which lets the natural air in, but that provides some shade for down below in those. The best time would be spring and fall months. Of course, we have to have the old conference room. So if you have to do business, there's wireless internet and all that, you can do it in there. But it's a good place if you have a small company or something and you want to have maybe a small Christmas party or an office meeting and try to impress people. This would be a great place for that. It has an amazing formal dining room with a couple tables there, a fireplace, and this pretty cool looking historic mural on the wall. So again, it is a mansion. That's the type of vibe they're going to offer. So as a member, you may elect to join their wine society. So the society was established for members that would like to enjoy their private stock wine when visiting the club. It has the capacity to store up to 18 bottles. That is a lot of wine. I know people that could drink 18 bottles in one night. Just kidding. There's private use for up to 8 people if you want to have some sort of private wine tasting or private cocktail party or private wine dinner. And you do have the ability to order private stock wine at a discounted rate. All right, so our last thing we're going to talk about here in the Edgeworth Club is if you got too drunk, not you, well, yeah, you and family members, people in from out of town, they actually have apartments. All right, so those are my 5 tips about living in Edgeworth. I've got more, but I only had time for 5. So you want to make sure you contact me, call me or text me directly at 412-901-7522. You can also email me, Brian@BrianSellsPittsburgh. Leave a comment below. I constantly have people relocating to Pittsburgh, reaching out to me, and I help them navigate the process of where to live in the greater Pittsburgh area. Maybe it's not Edgeworth, maybe it is, but you'll want to contact me. Constantly putting videos up. Hope you enjoy them. Do it now.